G'day everybody, Nick here from Super Cheap CPAP, and today I'm going to be showing you a little bit about how to change the settings on a BMC RESmart machine. It's not too difficult, but there are a few tips and tricks in how to get the best out of this machine, so I'll take you through and just show you these things right now on front of your screen. So to start with, I'm just going to show you how to access basic clinical settings. Basic patient settings. We'll go to clinical settings later, but basic patient settings are ones that you can change quite easily. They're things like changing the amount of humidification, turning things on, such as automatic on or automatic off, and a few other bits and pieces as well. So to access the basic settings, all we're going to do is this button here. Just press and hold that down for about 3 seconds. Alright, the first thing that's come up, it says heater. Now that's the amount of humidification. So at the moment that's set to 3. If we want to change that, first what we have to do is tap this button again. So that'll start flashing, and now we can use the plus and minus buttons to go up or down. Okay, so this one runs between 0, 1, 2 and 3. Oh, sorry. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Goes right up to 5. Okay, so when you select whatever you like, so if you don't like humidification, which is the amount of moisture in the air, you choose a nice low number like 0 or 1. If you like a lot of moisture in the air because you've got a dry throat, you might need a bit more. So say 2 or 3, or maybe 4 or 5. To just try these things out, see what you like. It's very easy to do. Try 3 on one night, 4 on the next, 5 on the next, and see how you find that. So once we've got the number that we want there, what we want to do is just hit this button again, the little triangle button, which then locks it in. Alright, now we can go press the plus button, and now it's not going to increase that number, it's going to actually take us to the next setting. So then we have automatic on enabled, so that means when we put our mask on, we can start breathing with the tubing detached, and the machine will turn on automatically. Automatic off is also enabled, which means we can take our mask off and the machine will turn off by itself. Light is auto, so that's the backlight there. I recommend setting that to auto. ResFlex, this is basically exhalation pressure relief. So as you breathe out, the machine drops the pressure to make it easier for you to breathe. The higher you have that number, the more the machine drops the pressure as you breathe out. So if you have that on a low number, it's not going to drop the pressure very much when you breathe out. If you have it on a high number like 3, when you breathe out, the machine will slow the pressure to make it easier for your air, your exhalation, against the pressure coming in, if that makes sense. Alright, so we're going to keep that at 3. Delay off disabled. Delay off is basically the machine has a little bit of a delay when you turn it off to run a bit of air through. It kind of dries out the tubing and so on, so it's up to you if you want to have that. You can have it enabled or disabled, it's not a big issue either way. Sensitivity is how quickly the machine adjusts to sleep apnea. So I recommend having this on 3 or 4. It's basically the machine's algorithm and how it adjusts to your sleep apnea events. If you have it too low, the machine's not going to be very responsive to your sleep apnea, and too high, it's going to respond very, very quickly. So I recommend 3 or 4 is a good number. I normally set it to 4. Then you've got the date, how many days it's been used. You want to have this as iCode enabled because that means that the machine's going to store your iCodes, which is your data. So we want that enabled. Okay. And then we get to the end and it says save, and we just click this button down and that now saves all the settings. So that's pretty basic. That's your basic patient settings. To get into clinical settings, there's a bit of a trick to it. Basically, you need to have the power out, and what you want to do is you want to hold down these 2 buttons while reinserting the power. So you hold down these 2 buttons, and as you're holding them down, you put in the power. So I'm going to have to put this down for 1 second because I'm holding the camera. Just bear with me. Okay, once you've done that, it'll come up and it'll say the first thing what the mode is. So the mode is what Mode is basically the way that the machine is going to deliver the pressure. If your mode is auto, it will variably deliver the pressure, so it will automatically adjust the pressure throughout the night. If you want to change that, you can set it to fixed, which means that the machine will deliver a set pressure. So one set pressure that's continuous. So what we can do, I'll just show you how to change it. So say at the moment we've got an automatic, we want to change it to fixed pressure. We click this button down, there's a bit of a theme here. It starts flashing, then we can click mode CPAP. Click this button again, and now we've just changed it to CPAP mode. Okay, we're going to go back to auto for this, so I'm going to show you mode auto. Alright, and if I go across now, there's a few bits and pieces. I'm just going to go across. You've got treatment P, which is treatment pressure, max pressure, max automatic positive airway pressure, 14, initial pressure, which is 4. And then after that, you have the units of pressure, which is what we want, cm H2O. So, what does this mean? I'm just going to go back. We've got treatment pressure, max, APAP, ramp, and initial pressure 4. So, the treatment pressure is, how do I explain it? Treatment pressure is the, well, let's just start, sorry, it's hard to sometimes, I find it hard to sometimes explain. You've got your initial pressure, which is 4. Now, your machine is going to go from your initial pressure, 4, up to your treatment pressure, whatever we've set that to, over whatever we set the ramp period to. So, let's just go back. So we've got the ramp at the moment of 20 minutes. We've got a treatment P of 4. So I'm just going to change this so we get a little bit of an understanding of what's going on. I'm going to change this to 7. Alright, so that's at 7 now. So the way I've got this up set at the moment, the machine is going to go from an initial pressure of 4 up to a treatment pressure of 7. Alright, once it goes to 7, it's going to then automatically titrate between 7 and the max pressure, so between 7 and 14. So it's a little bit confusing that, but that's basically how you set it. If you want to, you can basically just have it so that the initial pressure and the treatment pressure are the same. So we have them at 4 and then initial pressure at 4. That just means that basically the machine's going to go between 4 and 14. Right, going on from there, we've got the units, which is in centimeters H2O, that's what we want. Use time, and we also have a mask test start. So you can put your mask on, you can click start, hit that button, and it will go through and just test your mask seal and make sure you've got your mask tight enough over a variety of tests. And then it gets to save, and we click the button and we save it. Alright, so on the screen here it says 4-4, so that's the initial pressure and the treatment pressure. We've put them both the same, which means the machine will start at 4 and it will basically go between 4 and our maximum pressure, which is 14. Alright, so that's how you do that, that's how you change it. There's some other things we can do with this machine. If we click this button up the top here, this one. Just don't press and hold it, just click it. We can then press the plus button and we can go through and check out what's called the P95. Now the P95 is useful because it gives us an idea as to where the pressure is below 95% of the night. So if this P95 is, say, 10, it means that the machine is running below 10 centimeters of pressure for 95% of the night. It gives us an idea as to where we need to, if we want to fix the pressure, where we'd be. Right, so we want to be below that level. Then we can press plus, gives us an average pressure once again. So all the pressures averaged out over the whole night. Where's the average? What's the average at? Then it's got your all-important apnea-hypopnea index. So this is how many times an hour you're having any breathing episodes. So hypopnea is apnea. That's all part of the apnea-hypopnea index. And it gives us an idea per hour as to how many times those events are happening. And we want it to be less than 5. That's the goal. Right, everything's relative, So if you're coming down off a really high level, say your apnea-hypopnea index was 80, you might sometimes find it harder to get that person down to less than 5, so it's all relative. If they get down to 7 or 8 or 9, it's still a big improvement, but the goal is to get less than 5, okay? So we can adjust the pressures and things like that in the mode to try and actually check out our AHI and get that down to as low as possible, and then we've got the snore index as well. Alright, so that's a cool way how you can just look on the screen when you wake up in the morning and you can check out and see, what was my apnea-hypopnea index? How many times an hour did I stop breathing? If it's a bit high, we can adjust certain things with the pressure to try and make it lower. You might try increasing the minimum APAP pressure to bring that up, or perhaps you've capped the upper limit too low and you need to increase that a bit because there are some times when the machine's reaching a ceiling of pressure and it can't go any higher because you've capped it too low. So these are all the sort of things you can do with this. You might want to try changing it from automatic therapy to fixed pressure to see if that has a benefit as well. Now, I'll just press this button which takes us back to the main screen. So to get our I codes, which is a way of actually transferring data from this machine to a computer, we just need to tap the left button here. Oops, sorry. Just bear with me here. Sometimes the I codes play up a little bit. Let's have a look. Go turn this off and turn it back on. I might have been still in clinical settings then. So I just tap that and see how it says I code 1. If I press it again, it's going to give us a string of numbers. You need to write those numbers and letters down on a piece of paper. And then again press it and it will say I code 7. Write these numbers down next to I code 7. And then one more time I code 30 and write these numbers down. Once you've done that, you can go to your computer and you can open up a browser, and in your URL at the top of the browser you type in www.bmc-icode, so -icode.com, and that will open up an online application where you can actually put in these I codes. You can type them in and you can actually generate a report which will give you 30-day average, 7-day average, and last night's information about how you were sleeping, how you were breathing, what the pressure was doing, and all the rest. So it's a really nifty way of getting your data off the machine. So I hope you've enjoyed this little tutorial. I know these sort of things, some people aren't that technical, so I hope it's helped someone out. And as always, please like our videos, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, and check out our website for great deals on CPAP equipment, www.supercheapcpap.com.au. We've got a great little chat feature there, so if you do have some questions or you're after a bit of advice, you can chat to some consultants. All the best and good luck with your CPAP therapy. Bye.